Hi, Tommy Heffernan, veterinary consultant with Precision Microbes here. Today I'm going to talk about our silage additive. So we have a lot of farmers who've used the product last year and we're getting a lot of different questions. So in this video, I'm going to be tasked with an overview of the silage product. I've been involved in the trial work as well, and maybe some frequently asked questions. And please stay tuned for applications, dosing, and we talk about cost per acre as well because it's a very cost-effective product. Okay, so Precision Microbes, guys, we're a Dublin-based biome-focused solutions company. The silage additive is the next in line of our products. It's a licensed by the Department of Agriculture. It's also organic certified. So we're just worth mentioning, we're partnering for this silage season with Embrace Farm, an Irish charity who do a fantastic work with farming families who have accidents, bereavements on farm. So every sale of silage product is a percentage going to Embrace Farm this season up to the end of July. Check them out on embracefarm.ie. Okay, so I want to talk a little bit to give people a bit of context. When I say the biome, it's about understanding that, you know, particularly our cows, and you could say sheep, it's through birth we're passing the good microbes to the next generation. And the farm gut biome is something we're doing a lot of work on in cows. And that's important when we think about our silage product as a homofermentative inoculant. Because a lot of people are using our calf product, but you know, always ask us, what about cows? Well, if we think about the farm gut biome, we always expect, you know, good bacteria to go to calves, but what's actually happening is there's a lot of, the purple guys are the bad guys, a lot of harmful bacteria in the farm biome that has been transferred from cow down, from dam down to calf. So that's what we're really looking at. We're doing a lot of exciting research in that really interesting space, the biome approach, and silage is one aspect of that where we're using beneficial microbes. I'll explain as I go along. Okay, so when we think about the biome approach again, this is to understand that our farm is not just bad bacteria, not just pathogens. There's a whole range of good bacteria in our farm biome. And people would be familiar with our calf pro and postbiotic liquids. They would have seen them working on farm, seen how beneficial they are. That's just a small element of the biome story. So we're looking at silage, we're doing plant work, we're doing trial work on plants, really exciting stuff. So we see ourselves as the microbial gurus working with a whole range of microbes in different blends, slurry. But today I'm going to talk about silage as part of that biome approach. We know, and this is taken from Chaga's website, looking at when we're cutting silage, we know the importance of, you know, I don't need to lecture farmers on the importance of quality silage, looking at the different DMDs and its impact on average daily gain, cattle performance. We want to eliminate waste. We want to maximize inputs, feed out to silage. So when we look at cutting, here's something I took off Chagas this morning, just looking at what they were saying. Again, the use of additives, actually saying it's required if sugars are low in grasses, you know, high leaf content, short nitrogen application, lack of sunshine. Additives play a significant role in silage cutting. So what's different about Precision Microbes? We have a different, we have a live ready to use product. So there's different types of additives. Ensiling acids, they're very uncommon at the moment. There's a lot of people maybe will use freeze-dried bacteria. I'll explain why we're different. Live heterofermentative bacteria, but we're live homofermentative bacteria. So we've got live bacteria and their metabolites in the liquid. People will be familiar with what we talk about pro and postbiotics in calves. This is the same principle around using beneficial microbes in a live format, ready to use, really high quality. So this is the silage product here, if you can see it. Okay, so just as something but we've different microbial blends, but just to give people an idea of what we're doing differently. Why is Tommy so excited all the time? I'm excited anyway, but what we've been doing traditionally for the last number of decades with beneficial bacteria, so we were using bacteria for a positive benefit. When we think about silage inoculants, we're using lactobacillus bacteria to produce lactic acid to increase fermentation. But what we've been doing is been culturing bacteria and freeze dry them. This is what they actually look like under the electron microscope. And that's important because, okay, it might be easy from we can make a powder or a paste, but the problem is that these bacteria have to rehydrate. What are we doing? Precision Microbes, it's all about liquids. It's all about live bacteria in a controlled, dormant pH environment. So in our liquid, we've actually got the beneficial microbes, and we've also got the metabolites. And that's something we do in all our propagation processes when we look at liquids. So if you're looking at ultra low dosing, like I'll talk about in a bit, this is actually, so in our liquids, you'll see it at 10 litre, it's ready to go. So you can actually pour this straight into your ultra low doser. I'll explain as we go along. again, this is a more detailed video explaining to people the difference of precision microbes. Okay, so what are we seeing? So I've been involved in the trial works. I'm Tommy the vet, but sometimes, you know, with this company, I've been stretched right across the biome stuff because I like research, I like farming, I like the different aspects of the biome approach. So I've been working with farms where we've been using the product, we've been measuring effective fermentation, speed of fermentation, very, very fast. And if you think about particularly using an ultra low dose, it makes a lot of sense. We've a number of trial farms. Last year we actually had 50 trial farms. So 50 trial farms where we gave product out free to farms and we took a load of feedback. You'll actually go to our website, maybe you're on the website where you're listening to this, you'll hear about that. We've seen excellent nutrient preservation. So the idea of fast effective fermentation is to reduce the loss of nutrients, which nutrients drive performance. Massive reduction in waste, and this is something we've seen with farmers again on particularly pit silage, even bale silage, reduction in waste. And again, the beauty about the product is it's ready to go. So it's a ready to go liquid. You're looking at the 10 litre, it's ready to use. We feel our products are our best sales tool. Something I noted as somebody who was skeptical about maybe microbes or prior to being involved in this project, it's the customer feedback. Customers can see it in the silage, they can see it in the feed out. Look, it's an organic product as well. We're licensed organic. And one thing about our silage additive is, I suppose, the beauty about being here in our production manufacturing facility is we've produced it that is cost effective per acre. And I'll talk about that as well. Again, if we look at customer feedback, just look there. This is some of the feedback from the 50 farms last year. You can actually go and listen to the videos, listen to what farmers are saying about what they've seen, preservation, feed out, lack of waste, and also animal performance noted by some farmers as well. Okay, so when I think about silage and cow performance, obviously we think from a nutrient point of view, we're looking at grass, and then we look at forages over the winter time for cattle and sheep. Really, we think about the gut. We really need to remember that inside in the rumen, it's microbes that are breaking down and digesting the fiber to turn into energy and protein. But also cattle and ruminants have a hindgut or a large intestine. Very, very important there. So when we look at nutrients, there's something we need to think about. We spend an awful lot of time thinking about nutrition in equals output via performance. What we don't think about is the nutrient in plus absorption in the gut. So the digestion and the taking in of the nutrients to drive performance. Having a homofermentative liquid with live probiotic bacteria that are helping with fermentation, preservation, being in the silage at the time of feed out really helps support gut health. So I did a lot of work looking at gut health on farms that had preserved their silages with our homofermentative inoculant. Really exciting stuff. Okay, so when we look at dosing rates, this is where we get a lot of questions. So thank you for listening. Just giving you a bit of context and background. Dose rates, this is really important. So there's 2 dose rate applications with our product. There's ultra low dosing and standard dosing, okay? And this comes down to the contractor. Maybe you're doing bales or silage yourself. You need a dosing system. Ultra low dosing is really low volume. We're essentially misting out the microbes. So you can imagine this is ready to go. So you're literally putting your 10 litre into your dosing applicator on your harvester or your baler, and it's misting it out. It's 50 to 100 mils per tonne. Why the variance? Well, it's down to how difficult the silage is to ensile. For example, with first cut, easy to ensile silage, you'll be looking at 50 mils per tonne. Really cost effective at ultra low dosing. It works out about 65 cents or less a tonne. So if we look at 50 to 100 mils per tonne, if it's more difficult to ensile, we would put it up to 100 mils per tonne for more difficult ensile. So that's true ultra low dosing. Now, a lot of people will still be using standard dosing, and that's a higher volume. Why is it a higher volume? Well, first of all, you're diluting the product. So you're taking, for example, 10 litres of precision microbes, adding it to 90 litres of water to make a 10% dilution rate, or 1 litre to 9 litres of water, to make a 10% dilution rate. Now, when you have that done, the application rate is 1 to 2 litres per tonne. Because you're spraying on, you need a higher volume. And again, there's the difference in dose rate depending on how difficult the silage is to ensoil, depending on weather, first, second cut, red clover silage. We've had a lot of feedback. You'll see on the website, a lot of feedback for farmers who made red clover silage, had difficulty with ensoiling it in the past, and now have found excellent preservation with precision microbes. Okay, just before I finish up here, I'd like you to focus in on this image here. So the difference between ultra low dosing and standard dosing and why it's different. When you're misting or ultra low volume, you're creating that mist, and the beneficial microbes, particularly the live microbes, ready to go in that format, they actually go across the grass, they propagate, they multiply, they're producing the lactic acid which is causing the fermentation. Even though this is a 10% dilution rate, it's still a bit higher dose rate because you're spraying it on. You're not getting that misting, micro misting effect. So that's important to remember when we look at dosing. This is probably a very important practical chart. Cost per acre, I think this is significant. In a year where cost, and always cost matters, it's 125 euros for 10 litres. That's 12.50 for a litre of product. So if we look at ultra low dosing, 50 mils per tonne, easy to ensoil, very few people may be doing this in first cup, but 10 tonnes to the acre, 500 mils to the acre, that's 6.25 an acre. But essentially, at that rate, it's 65 cents a tonne to help with preservation, to reduce waste, and also to look at that homofermentative inoculant and feed out for supporting gut health. Again, at the 1 litre a tonne of standard dosing at 10%, that's 100 mils of product to 900 mils of water. It's working out about 12.50 an acre. It's 125, 130. €1.30 per tonne. Again, it's cost effective for, you'd say, Tommy, you would say that, but certainly the farmers who used it last year will be using it again. That's always a good sign. Okay, making good silage. I don't have to lecture farmers about the importance of silage making. You know, the length of the winter, we are producing, be it meat average daily gain, milk indoors. We want the best quality silage we can have. Precision microbes, inoculant, used correctly, is really, really effective. If you want more information, we're happy to talk to you. The team is here. They're downstairs. We're busy at the moment putting out silage and still calf product going out there along with other species. info@precisionmicrobes.com. To purchase the product, visit www.precisionmicrobes-shop.com. Thanks for listening. Again, we're partnering with Embrace Farm, who do great work for farming families who've lost or had accidents. It's a busy time of year, silage season. Stay safe first and foremost. Thank you very much for listening.